Hi, my name is Chet Lazzarino and this is Cooking with Chet. But today, no cooking for Chet. Today, Jay Pauer is going to do the job today. Wow. And Jay is got a great meal set aside here today, so I'm going to let Jay tell you what's going on, and he's going to give you a little background on what's going on today.
Very good.
Very good.
Well, thank you, Uncle Chet. I appreciate you having me. So yeah, I've been cooking for a long time. Actually, used to grow up in Austria. Went to culinary school, apprenticeship, and so on and so forth. Worked in some really nice Michelin star restaurants all over Europe, and also worked on a cruise ship for a very long time, where I met my wife, and that's what brought me to the Americas. I'm actually born and raised in Austria. So yeah, today I'm actually going to be cooking a specialty from my home country, and it is breaded pork loin with Spaetzle and a mushroom sauce.
Very good, and I'm going to be his sous chef.
Yes. Okay, so what we have here is a pork tenderloin. We're going to cut that and tenderize it, and then we bread it in some German, we call them Brösel breadcrumbs. We're going to make our mushroom sauce. Here's some white mushrooms, and we also some dried mushrooms with onions. And then we're going to make Spaetzle. And Spaetzle is really just a dough out of flour, eggs, and water. And then we're going to saute them in butter, because we Austrians like a lot of butter.
Sounds excellent.
That's it. Okay, so we're going to get going on the sauce here, the mushroom sauce. So Chet, while I chop the onions,
Yeah, great.
do the honors and wash those mushrooms. What we want to do is, even though they're sliced, pre-sliced, they've still got a little bit of dirt on there, so we want to make sure that's not in the sauce. We want to wash them really good, dry them off, and we're going to chop them down a little.
I'll do that right now.
Great,
Okay.
thank you.
Very good. Very good.
All right, so we got the pan going with some butter. And in the meantime, we'll chop the onions. Saute the onions. So we're going to chop them down a little bit. Butter. And now we're going to add the mushrooms to it. Thank you. We're going to let that cook down for quite a little bit in its own juice. Well, mushrooms are almost 99% water, so they're going to cook down all together, and there will probably be not much left. Okay, so we're going to let that cook down for quite some time, and then we're going to add some chicken bouillon, and then we're going to make the Spaetzle. Okay, so mushrooms have cooked down a little bit. We're going to add some chicken stock. All right, and we're going to let that simmer for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to finish up with some half and half, season it, and that will be it. While the mushrooms are cooking down, we're going to make our Spaetzle. And Uncle Chet, why don't you crack some eggs for me, please?
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to have some flour here, and we're going to salt the flour. And we're going to put a little pepper in here. Okay, excellent. And then we're going to take a little bit of cold water, water in the eggs. There you go.
Okay.
Excellent. And then we're going to pour this very slowly into the flour. Water in here. Otherwise, we make it too many eggs. So we're going to thin the eggs out a little bit with some cold water, because we need the dough nice and smooth. Okay, keep going. Keep going a little faster. There you go. Excellent. Great. A little more. Okay, let's stop for a second. Thank you. Okay, and the rest, please. Nice and slow. There you go. Or like that. Very good. So now we're going to beat this up really nice. So it's got a really nice and silky consistency. You got it perfectly measured. So now we're going to let that sit for about 5 minutes. And once the water is boiling, we're going to use our special Spaetzle grater, and we're going to make Spaetzle.
Well, Jay, when we're getting to the next step, why don't you tell me a little bit about the tradition of this particular?
Oh, yeah, great question.
Yeah.
So the part of Austria I'm from is the what we call Lower Austria, and pork is very there's a lot of pork, and everybody eats pork pretty much, next to chicken and duck and goose. But this is what we call a poor man's meal. We have a lot of mushrooms because we're surrounded by forest.
Beautiful.
So we typically go out and forage mushrooms when mushroom is in season, and we make a sauce out of it. We have flowers, we have eggs and all that, and then Schnitzel is very traditional to Austria. So that's kind of happening on a Sunday, right after church at noon. We all sit down, and that's where we eat for Sunday lunch.
So it's like spaghetti for the Italians?
It's very spaghetti-like, yeah, for the Italians, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and usually because there are different types of mushroom you can use, the traditional way is what we call chanterelle mushrooms, and those are the yellow mushrooms that you find in the forest. But they're not in season, so we use white button mushrooms this time.
It sounds excellent. Right. I'm looking forward to having some in a little bit.
We're going to make Spaetzle. Put this on here. Thank you.
All right.
Put the dough on here.
Put it all at one time.
Put it all at one time.
Very good.
Make sure we get it all. This little spatula. Alrighty. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to watch this.
And here we go. I'm going to turn this around. And I'm just going to scrape it right over here, back and forth.
Now this is dropping little segments, though.
Little, yeah, we call them buttons.
Buttons,
So they're going to put
yeah.
little buttons in there. Get it all in there.
Mm-hmm.
And this is only going to take about 2 or 3 minutes to come up one time, boiling water, and
It'll float.
float. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Here are our Spaetzles. We'll let them come up one time. We're going to strain them, cool them down, and when we serve them, we're going to saute them in a little bit of butter, and that's it. The way I know they're done is when they float to the top, and they're about maybe 30 seconds away.
Like a gnocchi.
All right, so Uncle Chet actually strained the Spaetzle, and we cooled them down, and we're gonna let them sit here until we're ready to serve. In the meantime, we're gonna finish our mushroom sauce. So it has cooked down pretty good, and now we're ready to add some cream to it, or half and half in this case. Really based on feel. We don't want to make it too saucy and too thin. Let it cook down a little bit. Let's see, maybe a little bit more.
Beautiful.
And I'm gonna let it cook down again for a little bit. Season it. Make sure everything is right in terms of flavor. We add some parsley at the end, and now we're gonna go to our breaded pork chops, or pork loin in that case. We're gonna do that next. We're gonna turn our attention to getting the pork ready for the breaded pork tenderloin. So we've got beautiful pork tenderloin already
that
trimmed.
looks excellent. Yeah.
Already trimmed it. So we're going to slice it in the butterfly way,
Nice.
and we're going to cut it in the bias a little bit. And then I'm going to hand them over to you, Uncle Chet, and then you tenderize them.
Okay.
Nice and thin. That's the other thing. We in Austria we like thin Schnitzel, or thin breaded pork loin. That's why we cut them nice and thin and tenderize them. Excellent. Well, we got 3 or 4 of them, so they have nice amount of room. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. You're an excellent sous chef. I'll hire you for my next gig there. Okay, so the mushroom sauce is reducing very nicely. So we're now going to make our breaded pork tenderloin. We're going to start seasoning our pork. And this is my own little home seasoning. Salt, pepper, secret ingredient, can't tell anybody about. Little garlic, little oregano, Italian seasoning. And we're going to just sprinkle that over our meat, like that. And we're always going to do it on both sides. That's probably one of the most important tricks of a chef, is always seasoning both sides. A little bit in the egg as well. And this is just egg wash. It's eggs, a little bit of water to thin it out. And then we have our breadcrumbs. So our breadcrumbs are, this is white bread. White bread and wheat bread. Finely, so it's dried and then finely ground. And you can see here, nice and coarse. But then we're going to actually get a really crispy crust when we fry the pork tenderloins. And that's what we want. We want it nice and crispy.
Okay, Jay, so I see everything set up for breading and all of that. So I'm going to get the parsley now and cut this up and put it in your breadcrumbs.
Chet,
okay?
Maybe you do that in Italy, but in Austria we don't.
You don't put breadcrumbs in?
No, we don't.
You don't put.
No.
Oh my God.
No, we don't. We're going to save that for the mushroom sauce. All
Oh,
right?
I thought that went into your breadcrumbs.
No. In Austria, we want it nice and plain.
Oh my
We
God.
want to get the flavor of the breadcrumbs. And
Okay. Well,
not the cheese.
I thought that,
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
that's why you brought.
And we got to finish this a little bit. I think we seasoned all this already, so we're good.
All right.
All
We got
right.
them on both sides.
We got them on both
On
sides.
this side. A little bit more on this side.
more.
Then the
Yes,
eggs and then
so
the.
this is important. We're going to do flour on both sides.
Yeah.
We have a fork right here. So we're going to do it as such.
Okay. Flour.
Flour on both sides. We're going to make sure we
Tap it.
tap it off. Dip it in our egg wash.
I'm gonna get another
Let
plate.
it dry off a little. And then, here we go. We can use our fingers and hands, pat it down really nice.
Nice. Very nice.
Make
Yeah.
sure it sticks on it, and there's our breaded
Breaded.
tenderloin.
Beautiful.
Now we're going to do it with the rest.
No parsley.
No parsley at this point.
Okay.
All right.
Well, it's not Italian.
You don't have Schnitzel in Italy, and if you do, you've stolen it from the Austrians.
Yeah.
All right, we are getting ready to make our Schnitzel here in a minute. The oil is almost hot. We have some brown butter, and now we're going to toss our Spaetzle in here. Yeah. There we go. Toss them around a little bit.
Nice.
Okay, and then Chet, why don't you hand me the parsley, if you don't mind.
All right. Here we
And
go.
we're going to finish our
Fresh cut parsley.
Thank you, fresh cut parsley, Italian parsley. And then we're going to put it right in our mushroom cream sauce.
Yeah. Nice.
And we always do that at the end. Get that nice flavor of fresh parsley in our sauce.
That looks great. Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. We're just going to toss that around a little bit. And I think the oil might be about ready. And we want the oil to be very hot. Because, yeah, so that you can see it bubbles really nicely.
Yeah.
We're going to put it Schnitzel in very carefully and always away from you. Don't want it splashing on your belly. Cook this on high. We want to cook it pretty quick. In the meantime, toss it around a little bit. A little bit of pepper. And a little bit more salt. Not much because the butter is salted and the dough has salt, and the mushroom sauce is also seasoned, so we don't need a lot of salt on the Spaetzle.
Very nice.
Sound of Schnitzel cooking in hot oil.
Love the sound.
Like
of it.
music.
Yeah.
And the key is hot oil, and very quick. They're really
Oh,
thin, right?
yeah.
So we are ready to eat. Beautiful golden brown breaded pork tenderloin, Austrian style.
I'm gonna put them on a
Paper towel and here we are.
Well, Jay, it's been a wonderful afternoon, and I really enjoyed having you over for a wonderful meal. I'm looking forward to sitting down and enjoying this meal with you.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a
Thank you,
great
Chet.
experience. I'd like to say salute. I'm
Salute.
looking forward to sitting down and eating something.
And thanks for having me, and salute.
Salud!
Salute.